Hey there, Vanagon addicts. This is Ken Wilford here at Vanagon. Just coming at you. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about doing some upgrades on your Westfalia this spring so you can enjoy your summer a little bit better. Some of you may know that we have started carrying a lithium deep cycle battery in our website, and you can take a look at that. I will put a link in there. We initially started out with this Green Life. We actually now are selling a slightly different brand, but it works exactly the same way. And so what this is, a lithium ion 50 amp deep cycle battery. You can see it fits in this Westie in the battery box. Very good, very well. It fits perfectly with the size of it and also the height. I just have this cover pushed back here so that you can see it, but it will close and cover everything, and it's not too tall. It's exactly the correct height for that. And the big advantages of the lithium battery are actually many. Okay, the battery is a lot lighter than a lead acid. Okay, I think this whole battery weighs about in the 30-pound range, which similar batteries in lead acid are going to be probably double that in weight. So that's a little bit of a savings there on weight. You also have the big savings, which is the fact that the most I did another video a long time ago, which is super popular on YouTube, about putting some wheelchair batteries into your van. The most of them you can put in would be like around 66 amp hours. That's what I normally do, and I'll hook them together and that kind of thing. A lot of you probably have watched that video. The problem with that setup is that those batteries, you can only really deplete them to about half before you hurt them. So if you take them below half, they will be damaged, and you will kind of lower their lifespan. The lifespan of them, if you only take them to half, so now you're saying they're rated for 66 amp hours, but you're actually only getting about 33 out of them before you have to have them recharged. The amount of cycles you're going to get out of that setup is less than 1,000, and that's with optimal conditions. So you start taking them down below half, you're not going to get 1,000. You might get 500. You might get a few hundred. What I've been finding on them is after a couple years, one of the 3 batteries gets hurt, and since they're hooked in series or whatever, it hurts the other ones, and then it starts having major problems. So they haven't really been holding up that well, okay, in actual real world applications. These lithium batteries, they are designed to be drained down to 80% to 90% of their capacity. They actually have circuitry inside that will shut them off when they get down to the point where it's going to damage the battery. So that's all built into the battery. It has what they call BMS, battery management system, built into the battery. And it just basically protects it from that. If you hook the battery up backwards, like say your 2 leads here, if you hook them up opposite, it would not allow that to happen. And if the battery drains down to a certain point, it shuts it off. But then if you hook a charger back up to it, it starts recharging it again, and it brings it back to life. So you can use a lot more of your capacity with these, 80 to 90%. Also your cycles. Okay, so a lead acid battery, the most cycles you're going to see out of that is like 1,000. These, it's anywhere between 5 and 10,000. Okay, so that means one set of batteries, if it lasts for a year or 2 years and only has a few hundred cycles, this one you're looking at a possible 10-year lifespan. And so that is a big, huge plus as well. So one of the things that's going on though with these, now you can grab one of these, pop it into your van as is, but that's not really optimal. Okay, it has a way it likes to be charged. It's a little different than what the alternator is doing to your main battery over here. Okay, that wants to see a certain kind of charge from the alternator. That's what the alternator is designed for. These things, it's a little different kind of a charge. If you have the Pro charger, already and you set it to AGM battery, okay, for like say you're charging 110, that would be fine. So if you already have the Go Westy system in place, you have the Pro charger with the dual charger that charges your main battery, and this, you set it to AGM, okay, battery, that'll charge this perfectly fine. If you don't have a setup, you're starting from scratch, what I would recommend is also going with this unit, which we have as well. This is the Red Arc, okay, BCDC 12250, 25 amp, okay, charger. What this does, it's made in Australia, okay, and this charger takes the power from the main battery, and then it kind of smooths that out, sets it up to be able to charge this lithium battery in the most optimal way. So in other words, you use this charger in conjunction with this battery, you'll get the maximum lifespan out of the battery. This charger also has an input for a solar panel, so it has actually built-in solar panel, like they call it the solar panel, like MPPT, I think, thing. I can't remember exactly what that means, but it's like the thing that takes the power from the solar panel and turns it into 12 volts to charge your battery. And so that the solar charge controller is built into this, okay, so you have the two things combined together into one unit. It will actually prefer the solar panel over the alternator. So if you're driving around, you got plenty of sun, guess what, you're not even using the alternator, it's charging off of your solar panel. If you're somewhere where it's dark, okay, and your solar panel's not working, it'll just charge off the alternator when the car's running. If you want a 110 charger, you can hook that up to your main battery over here, and guess what, it'll actually activate this charger. I've been using this for a couple months, and that's exactly how it works. So you just hook up like a normal 12 volt charger, standard amperage one, like maybe 5 amps or something like that. Well, yeah, about 5 amps, I think, maybe 10 amps. It'll actually charge directly from that battery to this battery. As soon as the voltage goes up above like 13 volts or something, it'll start using this one as well, and that'll charge. Then you can simultaneously charge both batteries. Even though you don't have a 110 charger hooked to this, you have it hooked to that one, it'll actually charge the secondary battery. So the other nice part is this has its own built-in disconnect too. So when you run the wiring over to your main battery to this one, again, if your power is below 13 volts, the two batteries are isolated, so you don't have to have the Go Westy secondary battery kit. That's also built into this unit here. So there's a lot of nice things going on here. If you're starting from scratch, if you buy these two units together and maybe buy a solar panel, now you've got an instant, you know, solar powered van that's charging this battery, and you can use, you know, pretty much all of your 50 amp hours, I don't know, maybe 48 amp hours or something out of this battery. Get a lot more lifespan of that to run all your stuff in here. You can run your laptops, you know, cell phone chargers, tablets. You can run a freezer chest, one of those little small refrigerators. They only use a couple amp hours, or a couple amps an hour. Usually, like the truck fridge and that kind of stuff, I think it's like 1 point something or 2 amp hours or something like that, amps per hour. So I mean, that's a lot of time. And then if you're also getting charge off your solar panel, it's extending that. If you have the, okay, so another nice feature is time to recharge. Okay, so a proper recharge of a lead acid deep cycle battery actually takes days, okay, to get back to 100%. So if you deplete your lead acid deep cycle battery, it can take up to 2 days of charging to get fully back up to 100%, because they build it up to a certain point and then stop, and then build up to a certain point and stop. It's a very slow process. This battery here does not have to go back to 100%. There's no penalty, okay? If you don't, say you only take it to 75% or 80%, it doesn't care. And then the other nice part is that it can fully recharge in just like a couple hours. Okay, so this is a 25 amp charger. This is a 50 amp hour deep cycle battery, you know, do the math. It can actually fully recharge its battery in just a couple hours. So say you're camping somewhere and then you decide you're going to move your campsite, which a lot of people do. They'll be there for a couple of days. You go to drive, you say, I'm going to drive for a couple of hours. Maybe we'll go drive and get some Walmart stuff. We'll drive around and get our, you know, some food or whatever and restock. The whole entire time you're driving and you have your solar panel, it's recharging this battery to the point where now you're at your next campsite, boom, it's fully charged again. Okay, so this is just some of the advantages. I don't want to, you know, it's a 10 minutes, we're at 10 minutes. I don't want to bore you guys too much on this, but this is what I would recommend for 2018. Okay, so 2018, we've got our wonderful lithium battery here. That's great. We have our charger that's made specifically for it. That is also great. And I've been testing these for the last several months. It's been doing a great job, so I highly recommend it. So I'm going to put some links below if you want to check this stuff out. I know it's a little bit expensive, but you know, when you're traveling and you have the capacity you need, you have the charging you need, it's all in one little simple package here, and you can get it done. That is worth a lot of money. And also the lifespan of the battery, if you don't have to change out your other batteries every couple years, that's also worth some money. And not having to be on a trip and your battery's dead in 5 minutes and that kind of thing. So that's basically what's going on. Hope you guys are having a great day, getting more smiles per gallon with your van. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next video.